Reaperman here, and about twice a year I go off on kind of a gun game kick. Now this time around, unfortunately my S-Video and composite setup downstairs still has 5 frames of lag in it that you may have seen in my last video. So that leaves me trying to find a way to do some gun gaming on the PS2, which is probably a pretty good idea since there's a lot of PS2 gun games out there. Now my main problem with this is that I'm a member of the SCART Master Race, which are people who are fans of the second best video output solution for the PS2 after Component. Now, the big problem comes in with these light guns in that the Guncon compatible ones, like, well, pretty much all of them are on the PS2, they have this little dongle thing that goes and grabs composite video. And I don't really have a way to do that with the standard SCART cable. So what I've done is I've actually finally picked up one of these little Guncon dongles, which we'll talk about a little later. Right now I'd actually like to talk about some of the other alternatives that you can use. Now, one of the main things you can use is one of these little pass-throughs here. So it actually takes SCART in this side, outputs it from this side, and it lets you either inject or pull out the composite and S-Video. Now, assuming that the PlayStation cable you're using doesn't use composite for sync, there should be absolutely no problem. Heck, there probably is no problem anyway with using one of these, so that's always an option. It's just kind of another thing in the loop. And other things you can use is you could use, say, a little more basic unit like this one with kind of a SCART splitter. Now I happen to have a SCART splitter with a switch in it right here, so what you would do is you would actually plug it in and then activate, you know, both of them. However, this is a bit fancy of a piece of tech in that it's already got one kind of built into it. Now the only problem with this one is it came from Moldova and it's a little bit worse for wear, so at some point I'm going to have to rip this thing entirely apart and clean it. The third solution is actually pretty clean. It's actually using one of these SCART cables that already has the composite in the middle. Now, I can't use this one because, you know, this one's actually for Dreamcast, but I've seen these for PlayStations as well. Now, my big problem with these is that the SCART cable that they use is often of fairly low quality in these. So I'm really not going to go that way. But I do have some interesting light gun gaming that I do want to take care of today, especially want to try out this wireless gun, which may actually find its home down there. So what I've chosen to do is pick up one of these. This is a Innovation PlayStation compatible Guncon AV multi-out cable. So basically you set it up just right in the middle there. So let's pop it open, get it set up. Sure enough, sorry headphone users. And as we can see, it is just a little tiny cable here, just a little 1-footer. It's got your composite out the side. It's got a little choke on there to keep, I don't know, interference down. And then it's got your PlayStation compatible video output on the end that you can just stick one of these in and then stick it into the system. Now that is stupid easy, just stupid easy. And I'm really looking forward to trying out this gun, so if this happens to work out for me, it's actually probably going to stay down there and live with the setup, because there's actually a lot of good gun games on PlayStation 2. In fact, most of the gun games I would play on PlayStation 1 were brought over to PlayStation 2 in some form, like the Point Blank games and the Time Crisis games and whatever that vampire one is. In fact, about the only gun games I think I would ever play on PlayStation 1 that didn't make it to PlayStation 2 were the Atari games, which is Area 51 and, oh gosh, whatever that game that came out after Area 51 is, the drug fighter themed one. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling. Let's get all this stuff set up with not this PlayStation 2, but my actually good PlayStation 2, and see how she goes. Okay, and as you can see, the composite video out of the dongle is feeding just fine into the blaster. Everything is in sync, and I highly recommend this for anybody using PlayStation with more advanced video types. For example, SCART or Component or even S-Video if your output cable doesn't happen to have composite or if it's otherwise not handy. Now this blaster, on the other hand, I am not a huge fan of. It actually has its worst feature is that it's got a single blade sight on the back and also a single blade sight on the front, making it, just about impossible to use. So it kind of has to be shot by sight. Also, it doesn't have as many quality of life features as many of my other blasters, like it doesn't have electronic blowback, or I guess it doesn't have a foot pedal jack, and its auto reload's kind of a joke, doesn't have very many options. But auto reload's kind of cheaty anyway. Anyway, I think gun games are going to be my day here, so until next time, Reaperman out.